Well. Listen, I got my man Sid the Great in the building, and we are talking Chicago Cubs. More importantly, we're asking ourselves the question: could the Chicago Cubs actually end up giving Ian Happ an extension during the season? Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. I am your host, Mike Jones. I'm here with my main man, Sid the Great. Sid, what's going on, man?
What's up, MJ? How you living?
Oh, man, you already know I can't call it, brother. I'm just excited to be here, man. Happy to be doing another show with you, man. Thank you so much for coming on and gracing us with your presence and your baseball wisdom. I'm excited to talk some Cubs baseball with you, man. And like I said, excited to get into these topics. But before we do, guys, Sid has already done it, but you want to make sure that you join the Chicago Cubs Central private group on Facebook. You guys don't want to miss that opportunity on there. Episodes drop earlier on there, as well as you got to be on there, a part of that group, to have your name pulled for the jersey once we reach 3,000 subscribers. So you definitely want to make sure that you are a part of that group. Do not miss out the opportunity to be a part of that group. Sid is one of the mods in that group. Like I said, so we appreciate that. So you want to make sure you join that Chicago Cubs Central group. Also, make sure, guys, it's your first time watching this. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the page. Like I said, hit that little bell notification so you never miss a single episode of Chicago Cubs Central. And shout out to everybody on Spotify. Shout out to everybody on Apple. You guys listening, I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for the love over there, for everybody over there that watches and comments and things like that. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating over there. It really helps the podcast get notarized by other podcasts and other viewers. All right, so Sid.
Yes, sir.
Big question. We have talked so much all off season about who the Chicago Cubs need to add. This week, we're going to be focusing on who should the Chicago Cubs keep. And of course, I'm talking topics with you, and I'm sitting there like, man, Sid, what do we talk about? And you immediately come up, got to talk that Ian Happ extension, bro. Got to talk about it. So again, we began talking to ourselves and asking ourselves, and I want all of you out there watching along to start asking yourself, and it could be a simple answer for you. It could be a complex answer for you. For me, it's a complex answer. Does Ian Happ deserve another contract extension?
Well, for me, I like Happ, but I'm not I didn't like the contract that he got. You know what I'm saying? As far as like giving him, what you call that contract they give you when
no trade clause?
Yeah, the no trade clause. I mean, that's one of the things that I wouldn't, if you ain't Michael Jordan, you ain't getting that. You know but that was the only thing I didn't like about the contract. I mean, do we deserve an extension? It depends on who's out there after the season, because I don't know what the free agent is looking like after the season, but I think if for the right price, yeah. But the no trade clause, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that again. But it depends. Like I said, it depends who's out there. But I'm not a real big Happ fan. I figure you could get somebody else to do what he does.
Sure.
Yeah, he got Golden Gloves and things like that. I mean, but you could find, like I said, he played every day in left field. Like I said on the last show, getting a Gold Glove in left field is not that hard if you're playing every day like he does. Left field is usually a platoon area, you know what I'm saying? So it's easy for you to get it if you're left field, you're playing every day.
Gotcha. Yeah, so for me, I think it's complex because we have seen both sides of Ian Happ. We have seen the really, really good side of Ian Happ, where he can come in and spark your offense, and also he plays Gold Glove defense every single day out there in left field. Make no mistake about that. He is a amazing left fielder. The problem comes in with me and Ian Happ, and where I fall short is 3 months out of the season, Ian Happ is hitting around 205 or below.
Yeah.
And it's that strikeout after strikeout after strikeout after strikeout. and he'll pepper in a home run or a base hit or a double here and there. But I guess in my eyesight, that has always rubbed me the wrong way, at least for the past couple of seasons where we really depended on Ian Happ and really needed him to come through for this team in moments. And certain times he does.
Yeah.
And then, but for majority of the time, said when we looking at him, it's just like, dude, like, can we really trust this guy? Should we give him another contract, or should we look to move on from him? And again, Ian Happ has other options. He could always end up going to Pittsburgh and playing in Pittsburgh. I'm sure they would love to have him in Pittsburgh. He could also end up going and playing at home in Cincinnati. He always plays great in Cincinnati. So Ian Happ is a conundrum for me, because while the highs are high, the lows really get low for him.
Yeah.
It's usually at a time where the rest of the team is struggling, bro. And we're like, dude, somebody got to step up. Like, come on, Ian. It's been a month, bro. Like, please, like, hit something, you know?
Yeah. And it always happens like that. Like, the clutch time is like, oh man, come on, like you just said, do something. But my thing is, what Happ is, here's my thing. If we don't sign him to an extension, who's up next? Now, if we still had Owens, I'd be like, okay, he kind of expendable, you know what I'm saying? But we really don't have nobody in the farm system. They said we kind of running out of players in the farm system now, you know. So we still got a couple, but are they ready to step up to the next level where we want them to be? Because I mean, word around town is, I mean, the Cubs should be playoff contender, World Series contenders and stuff like that. So do we want to put a lot of pressure on a young fella that's coming out of the farm system? You know what I'm saying? Because we're not doing, I'm not talking to this just about 2026. I'm talking about 2026 and beyond. So, but I got a question for you, bro.
Sure.
Instead of putting Happ in left field, why not put him in right field? If Suzuki is not that good of a right fielder or whatever, if Happ is a Gold Glove, you should be able to put him in right field to sew that up, and let the Suzuki and whoever else play the left field, like left field supposed to be played, platooning people. You know what I mean? So what's your thought about that?
So in my estimation, I think that Ian Happ absolutely probably could play that role. But remember, Ian Happ is actually an infielder. When he actually started out as an infielder, and so he was moved out there to left field out of necessity, and then he just marveled at it, you know, because originally that was Kyle Schwarber's spot.
Yeah.
And like I said, and so Ian Happ started taking his ABs and his time playing time over there in left field. They started grooming him for left field out there out of necessity, because Kyle A couldn't stay healthy. B, like I said, he wasn't that great of a defender. So they, like I said, that's why they started that with Ian Happ. It's like you said, anybody can be taught pretty much to play left field if you are a baseball player. And that's not to diminish what Ian Happ brings to the table. I mean, to win 4 straight Gold Gloves is nothing to sneeze at. That's a great accomplishment that not a lot of people have done. Yeah. So, like I said, I mean, kudos to that. And like I said, we see the good from Ian Happ, you know, defensively all the time. And you might miss that when he's gone. I mean, like I said, but at the same time, you also have to look at yourself and you have to say, is there something we're missing offensively? Is there somebody out there offensively that could bring more to the table for the Chicago Cubs? And so, like I said, I asked myself, you know, what are we potentially going to do? And so, because like I said, the Chicago Cubs have multiple people that are going to be free agents and need contract extensions coming up. And in the same class, there's 2 of them. We'll do an episode on Seiya Suzuki later on. But after this season, you have Nico Horner, you have Seiya Suzuki, and you have Ian Happ all needing contract extensions.
Wow.
So the Chicago Cubs got either some money to fork out, or they better hope that some of these younger guys are ready. One or the other needs to happen here real soon, because otherwise, the Chicago Cubs gonna find them up shit creek without a paddle.
But you know what was the bad thing about that? Out of the 3, you only really have 1 replacement. You can only replace Nico, really, because I mean you still got Matt Shaw as right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So If Suzuki goes, who's the next step up? If Happ go, that's my whole thing. That's the whole thing about the extension with Happ. If we don't have anybody to step in, are the Cubs going to fork over some money to get a replacement, or are they going to go through the system like Kevin? What's the guy from the
Kevin Alcantara?
Yeah, give him a chance to come up and get some reps in or whatever. You know what I'm saying? See, is he ready? You know what I'm saying? And I think if people not getting him a shot or whatever, I think he's ready.
Kevin Alcantara.
I don't think he's ready like to start right now, but I think give him some reps. I think he could do it though. I think he could do it.
You know what? I don't hate that idea. I don't hate the thought process of giving Kevin Alcantara an opportunity. He's long, he's lanky, he's fast, he's quick, he's spiry, and he also hits the ball well too. Kevin Alcantara had some good showings, some good ABs last season when the Chicago Cubs did call him up. So I don't hate the thought process of bringing up Kevin Alcantara and letting him play left field should you not be willing to offer another contract to Ian Happ.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just tell you, said off jump, I truly believe the Chicago Cubs are going to try to keep Ian Happ, though.
That's the Cub thing to do. You know what I'm saying? That's the Cub thing to do. But like I said in the green room when we was just chatting, and there's a lot of other Cubs players that should have actually retired as a Cub, but they didn't. So I hope they don't get into the thing like, okay, we got to have somebody to do it. You know what I'm saying? And because we could have had that with Rizzo.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody keep on mentioning Kyle Schwarber, but I think what messed us up with Schwarber is there wasn't any DH in the NL when Schwarber was playing. They just had started that a little bit after he had left.
During the universal DH started during COVID.
Right. See, and that I think that's what and there wasn't really no position for him to play. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you could put him in the outfield, but that's how he actually got hurt too.
Hurt himself bad. And you know what? Kudos to Kyle Schwarber because he lost a lot of weight too, man, to help himself. Like I said, I mean, he really started taking his health seriously. He lost a lot of weight, dropped a bunch of pounds, man.
Yeah,
and literally made himself into basically outside of Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani, the best hitter in baseball.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I wish they would have got him, but I mean, well, we can't spill milk. I mean, we just got to move on. And like I said, but back to the extension. If they give it to him, I mean, I won't be mad and I won't be happy for it. I'm more like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but I just don't want them to give him no trade clause. I don't want that. I don't think no player should have that unless you, like you said, you got to be Michael Jordan or one of those big hitters. You know what I'm saying, that that's going to come through.
Ohtani or Aaron Judge, something like that.
Yeah.
So and the Cubs have multiple players that have no trade clause, including Alex Bregman, including Dansby Swanson. Who else? Seiya Suzuki got a no trade clause. I mean, they were just giving them out to everybody, like, oh, you don't want a no trade clause? You want to be stuck here? Cool, we'll keep you here. Pink. You know. So Ian Happ will become an unrestricted free agent in 2027 after his 3-year, $61 million extension with the Chicago Cubs expires following the 2026 season. So Ian Happ is a reliable Gold Glove caliber left fielder in his early 30s. His potential 2027 contract value is estimated right now between 15 to 20 million annual average value range. So that's not a terrible contract. That's really not a terrible contract. If you could get Ian Happ to sign another 3-year contract with you, that will take him to age 35. Because he currently right now is age 32. He'll be 32 at the start of the 2027 season. So you'll have him for age 33, 34, and 35, taking it past that. So I don't hate the idea of re-signing Ian Happ if that's going to be the contract. And again, I think Ian Happ is a realist. I think Ian Happ wants to stay a Chicago Cub. B, I think Ian Happ also knows that he has major slumps that cost the Chicago Cubs victories because he can't hit anything at certain points. And then there's other times where he just hammers the ball. My thought process is him and Jed have a good working relationship. Him and Jed's people. I'm sorry. Ian Happ's people and Jed have a good working relationship where they'll be able to work some type of deal out where Ian Happ should be able to stay with the Chicago Cubs. I don't think that he'll be going anywhere. I do. If I had to guess, bro, much to the chagrin of many people, I doubt the Chicago Cubs move on from Ian Happ.
I know we got other topics to go to, but just saying that he'll be 35 when that contract ends, and he's good on defense. But at 35, would he be doing the same thing he's doing? Because if he can't play the field, and we complaining about him hitting, we can't put him at DH neither. You know what I'm saying? So
no, you can't. No,
so I mean, it's something to really think. It's something to think about. But I think they, it's good. Like I said, I won't be mad at it. But like I said, it got to be other options out there. It got to be other options. If it just got to be other options. I let Kevin come up. Let Kevin get some reps in.
As of right now, the potential 2027 outfielding free agents. So there's Randy, our Rosarina.
Okay.
There is Adolis Garcia, George Springer, who is a right fielder in the DH. There's Ian Happ. There's Taylor Ward, Seiya Suzuki, Dalton Varsho, Cedric Mullins, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Ronald Acuna Jr. who's a right fielder, Nick Castellanos, Luis Robert Jr., who has a club option, Trent Grisham, Ramon Laureano, Lane Thomas, Robert Rep Snyder, who a lot of people thought the Cubs were actually going to sign him this last offseason, but he ended up getting picked up by, if I'm not mistaken, by Boston. No, he plays for the Seattle Mariners. My bad.
Okay.
But so like I said, and then there's Austin Hayes too. So there are some options out there, but in my eyesight, if Ian Happ is still giving you Gold Glove quality on defense, then there's no reason to move on from him.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, like I said, there's just no reason to move on from him because none of these people rock me as, oh my gosh, I gotta have them. Like he has to be his replacement. I mean, George Springer showed up and showed out last year in the American League playoffs for the for the Toronto Blue Jays. But at the same time, like I said, I look at this and I say to myself, not a lot of these guys do I think
sexy. There's no sexy in there.
Yeah. I mean, and if you're not going to get something that's sexy, then why not keep what you got? Because technically, what you got is sexy right now.
Yeah,
in the eyes of a lot of other people, Ian Happ's sexy. We as Cub fans just look at him like, here we go.
Yeah. But like I said, I just think if you bring Kevin up, let Kevin come up, just get some reps, just see where you at with him. Because I mean, I'm surprised. I thought he was gonna be part of some trades this past year. You know what I'm saying? To get to make something happen, and they end up keeping him. You know what I'm saying? So, we gave up too many. We gave up 2 good outfielders 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So you don't want, and what they still young, so we hope for the best for them, but not when they play us. But if they come through,
because Cam Smith knocked the cover off the ball against the Cubs when they played the Houston Astros, and Kyle Tucker did squat diddly that whole series. I was so mad. I'm like, bro, this is pissing me all the way off.
And that's the thing right there. I mean, those things I think where they come back and haunt you later on or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, but we just got to wait and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, let's get this season going and see what NHAP looking like. This year is going to determine if he does what he did last year. This year, we got to look elsewhere. Elsewhere.
I feel you said. I'm just preparing you to be disappointed. I doubt Chicago Cubs move anywhere else. I seriously doubt they move on from him. All season long, we've talked. I mean, off season long. I'm sorry. We've talked about the thought process of the Chicago Cubs adding somebody for DH. However, one thing that we didn't talk about that we needed to talk about is the fact that the Chicago Cubs already might have a prolific designated hitter that is super young, but is going to get a lot of ABs this year, and he's going to get a chance to prove himself. I talked about him on the episode with Setup Man Ty, and I just wanted to bring him to the forefront today to really shine some light on him. Moises Ballesteros
Mhm.
is going to get a lot of ABs this coming season. He is going to get a chance to really be a game changer for the Chicago Cubs and really get an opportunity to show everybody what he can do. He's a key left-handed bat for the 2026 Chicago Cubs following a strong September and 2025 debut. Due to his defensive limitations as a catcher, he's expected to solidify a role focusing on strictly offense, occasionally filling in at first base or catcher. So 2026, his primary spot is going to be DH. He's going to take a huge portion of those DH things as Seiya Suzuki will move back to right field. He provides a high contact, high power, left-handed bat, having hit 333 with a 999 OPS in 14 games during September in 2025. While DH is his primary role, he may see action at first base or as a third catcher to give Carson Kelly and Miguel Amaya days. The problem with him is his lack of speed and defensive refinement behind the plate may limit his catching opportunities in the major leagues, making him a DH-only candidate for many games. But the Chicago Cubs think that that's a sexy role for him, especially if he hammers out home runs and collects RBIs this up and coming season. What are your thoughts on trusting Moises Ballesteros with the DH role?
That sounds a lot like Schwarber. Everything you just said, I mean, because he came in as a back catcher, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't that good or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And we talked about this too. I think would that be too much pressure? Is that putting too much pressure on him? Because the state of mind, we're all Cub fans and the organization trying to take it to the next level. Is he ready for that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my only concern about him being a everyday type DH hitter. You know what I'm saying? Is he ready for it? I mean, we saw a short sample of it, which was fine, and it wasn't no pressure on it. But now you're a headline DH. You know what I'm saying? You're a headline. So if you come out and start sticking it up, it's going to, oh man, what we do now? Because there's no one behind him.
Yeah.
There's no one behind him. So, but and we're gonna talk about this too, because I heard about Andrew McCutchen. It's a thought process that they probably thinking about bringing in as well. But
I think Andrew might still be with
Pittsburgh,
with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He might still be with them.
He's a free agent. I saw it.
Oh, he is a free agent and professional baseball player who has played with the New York Yankees. Here's my only thought about Kutch is he's a good hitter. And but if we're gonna have it my way, if I would have it my way, I would rather the kid who's gonna be here long term get those ABs versus the old man who is, I mean, he's on his way out. Honestly, Kutch probably should look into retirement. Like I said, it's one of those things where, like I said, he was good for so long, and a great DH. But like I said, I mean, he's with the Phillies, he was with the Pirates. But like I said, it's past his time. He had 13 home runs last year, 57 RBIs in limited action. Like I said, I mean, that's like adding another Justin Turner that takes ABs away from a young guy that you want to grow.
Yeah. But my thing was, I didn't if the pressure started hitting our DH. You know what I'm saying? Just who could step up? Who could step up and okay? Just chill for a minute. You get some reps, go to the back cage, get some reps, get yourself going or whatever, and we got this. You know what I'm saying? Instead of putting all that pressure on our DH, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying McCutchen is the guy, but if he gave you 13 home runs, Justin Turner didn't give us 13 home runs last year. He was a good clubhouse guy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I mean, hopefully the DH. We cool at the DH. So if he get the reps, I think what you expected him to get? What was your ideal thought of him home run wise for the Cubs this year?
I think 20 is possible if he DHs all season long.
Okay.
He has that type of power. Well, what I saw from Moises Ballesteros last year, and I want to take you back to a certain game. I want to take you back to the game against Milwaukee. Chicago Cubs are on the verge of being swept in the series against the Milwaukee Brewers, and they got two men on. And up comes Moises Ballesteros, and he's cool, calm, and collected at bat. I mean, like I said, he grabs that bat, shrugs his shoulders, and lays into one, and rips a double, and scores both runs, and that wins the game for the Chicago Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I look at him as somebody as as non-confident as he might be defensively.
Mm-hmm.
He knows who he is offensively already. The kid knows he's a stud offensively already. So for him, it's just about turning that into runs, producing runs off of that.
Yeah, I think he should be okay. My thing is in back it because there's no backup DH right now. As of right now, I think it could be for him no pressure because I know they're gonna put me out there because there's nobody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
The only other person said that you might see DH. You could see Matt Shaw DH, or you could see or you could see Alex Bregman DH if Matt Shaw's going to play third that day.
Yeah. See, they got that, and that's why like you said earlier. That's why they got to keep Matt Ryan. I mean, Matt Shaw. That's why they got to keep him. They got to keep him because his versatility. I mean, he could play. You could put him because I heard he was taking some outfield reps too. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep that guy. You got to keep that guy.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think he is a huge key, as is Moises Ballesteros, as is Ian Happ. The Chicago Cubs are going to need everybody to step it up this season if we want to go where we're supposed to go. And again, the Chicago Cubs need to do their damnedest to make sure they add another pitcher, I think, to really solidify things. Last thoughts from you, Sid, before we close out tonight.
Well, the season starting, you know, pitchers come in like in 2 weeks, or some are already there now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. People are already showing up. Like I said, Seiya Suzuki is there. PCA is there. Like I said, Matthew Boyd is there already because he's getting ready for the World Baseball Classic. So like I said, yeah, I mean, the Cubs got some guys that are already there in Arizona warming up.
Well, hopefully, like I said, if they get that one pitcher. They get that one more pitcher. I'm sold. Well, I'm already sold, but you could just take me home now. You know what I'm saying? You could it's already so. I'm already sold. Just take me home now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to this season because, like I said, we was really close, really close.
Yeah.
Of making that big push to the World Series, and I think we would have gave. No team want to see us in the playoff. I don't think nobody gonna want to see us in the playoff.
Yeah.
But we get that one more pitcher, that one more starting pitcher, and I think we need one more. I think we need a closer too. I still think we need a closer.
Still on that. Still think we need to get a closer.
Yeah, man.
They're gonna start the season with Daniel Palencia, but we'll see. We'll see what comes of it.
Yeah, but other than that, I'm fine. I don't know what I said the last show. I was hoping they could get, but he's still with their team. Chapman. I mean, I like him, man. He's still throwing a high heat, man.
Yeah, I watch some of Chapman's training stuff, man, and he is ridiculous, man. Like I said, that dude is built like a tank, bro.
Yeah,
and he don't just work his upper body, his lower body, like where his strength comes from, is nasty. That's where he's pulling from when he's able to throw that 100-mile-per-hour ball.
Yeah, but other than that, man, I'm good. I'm good. Like I said, even if they don't get the pitcher they've been mentioning, I don't want to keep on bringing up his name, but they still got some in the farm system, you know, Wiggins and stuff like that. They still got some, you know. So, but we want that short shot, you know what I'm saying? So, be good though.
Said, man, thank you as always, bro, for coming and for hanging out, talking some Chicago Cubs baseball with me, man. Like I said, I appreciate you and your baseball knowledge, man. And just like I said, coming and hanging out and talking sport with your boy.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So listen, what we need you guys to do is make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to Chicago Cubs Central. Also, make sure that you join that Facebook group. Like I said, we are giving away a free jersey, Cubs jersey at 3,000 subs. So like I said, your name needs to be in the hat. In order for it to be in the hat, you need to be a part of the Chicago Cubs Central group, as well as you need to also be a part of subscribing to Chicago Cubs Central, whether that be on Spotify or whether that be on YouTube. Make sure that you are part of the group. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, go Cubs, go. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.